Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, yes, we're going to talk about Volkswagen a little bit more, but there's only a couple of little deals that have come out recently, including the fact that there is 11 million units all over the world that possibly can't pass their emission standards. Also, remember when we talked about Martin Winterkorn, who was actually the head of Volkswagen Group, and then stepped down? Well, apparently he's a big-time board member on the Porsche Group's board of directors and will be overseeing a lot of the hopeful getting out of this whole snafu. And actually, a lot of the folks will be pointing towards that board of directors to help them out in getting out of this situation. So it's a weird deal. Still on the payroll, still working for this deal. And I don't know. This is an odd situation to say the least. The whole situation is just strange. Next up on the list, Mazda showing off this teaser shot over the past couple of days. It's going to be shown off at the Tokyo Motor Show, which is only in a handful of days. Now, here's the deal. I know I talked about this in the past, how this on-again, off-again, off-again, on-again situation between an RX-8 successor, RX-7 successor. Well, now that Mazda's showing off this, apparently it's going to happen, or at least a lot of folks think it's going to happen. This sleek coupe is going to debut at the Tokyo Motor Show. We'll keep you in tune when we hear more about that. Next up on the list, yes, Tesla finally took off the wraps officially of the brand new Model X, their new sport utility vehicle. And right off the bat, if you're worried about these gull-wing doors, the doors actually only take 30 centimeters per side to actually open up. And they have sensors inside of the door which won't allow it to open up into anything or open up as far as the ceiling is concerned. If it's a little bit on the low side, it'll keep those doors to a minimum. Now let's talk about this vehicle as far as what it comes in at, because it comes in three different models. The P90, the P90D, and the Founders Edition, which is the highest end edition. The P90 goes 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds with 250 miles of range. The P90D comes in at 3.8 seconds to 60 with 250 miles also of range. And then if you go with the high-end version with ludicrous option, the ludicrous mode option that is, comes in at 3.2 seconds with 257 miles of range. The vehicle supposedly can seat 7 very comfortably, and it's the highest rated safety vehicle the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has ever tested. It's a 5-star in every crash test. Now, as far as the weird stuff, this vehicle apparently can tow 5,000 pounds of stuff, which I found to be hugely entertaining. Of course, I guess it's going to take a real jump or a real dump out of that old range is concerned when you're trying to haul around that much weight. Now, if you go with the high-end version, the high-end version comes in at $132,000 US, but they're claiming the P90 will actually cost just $5,000 over a standard Model S right now. So, now here's the kicker. We talked about all the delays and everything. Yeah, we're going to continue on with the delays because these vehicles won't be getting into early adopters' hands, the people who've already laid down their hard-earned cash, till the second half of 2016, so probably about this time next year. So it's kind of a tough deal, but I tell you what, it's not a bad looking machine. It'd be pretty impressive to see it on the highways. Next up on the list, the folks over at Peugeot took off the wraps of their brand new 2008 DKR16, their brand new weapon of choice for the 2016 Dakar Rally. The vehicle is lower, wider, and longer than last year's edition, and in an interesting situation, has adopted a setup that hasn't been done in a European-style off-roader. If you look at a European-style off-roader, they're kind of small, compact, with very small suspension travel, maybe around 10 inches of up and down, rear and front travel. When it comes to an American or Australian off-road vehicle, they can often have double to 3 times that kind of suspension travel. But now, Peugeot has adopted this long arm, long suspension travel that actually has independent suspension on all 4 corners, and it's 2-wheel drive. Now, the heart of the beast comes with a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 that's diesel that will come in at 350 brake horsepower and 591 pounds-feet of torque. Now, here's the most interesting thing. The driver lineup of this is a who's who of Dakar winners and World Rally winners. In fact, it includes Cyril Deprez, who is a longtime motorcycle champion at the Dakar Rally, and Stefan Petterhansel, many-time winner, class winner, and overall winner of the Dakar Rally. And then their two World Rally aces, which are Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, and also the Frenchman, Sebastien Loeb. Lots of World Rally Championships between those two guys. They got the best lineup as far as I'm concerned in the paddock, so they should be doing very well come Dakar in the first part of 2016. Next up on the list, we talked about this young man in the last episode, Romain Grosjean, who has officially been announced to be the lead driver at Haas Formula, the brand new US-based Grand Prix team. But in an interesting situation, when Grosjean was doing the interview, he said he'd like to take a little shot at stock car racing. Let's see. Gene Haas, the owner of Haas Formula, is half owner of a very successful stock car team, Stewart Haas Racing. And Tony Stewart has just announced that he will be retiring in the end of 2016. I am starting the rumor right now that Romain Grosjean will take over for Tony Stewart in the year 2017 after a year of development work on the brand new Haas Formula automobile. I know it's not going to be the case because they've already announced that quite possibly Clint Boyer will be taking over for Tony Stewart. But it would be kind of interesting to see how Roman would do here in a stock car. It would be pretty interesting. But I think he's a very good choice for Haas F1. The last story being one of the weirdest stories. You may know this young chap. This is the late Paul Walker. In fact, we're getting very close to the 2-year anniversary of Mr. Walker's tragic death in a car accident. But here we are almost 2 years later, and Meadow Rain Walker, 16-year-old daughter of Paul, is actually now filing a lawsuit against Porsche. Now, Porsche's already fired back and claimed that, you know what, the sheriff department that did the accident investigation on the incident claimed that the speed and reckless driving was actually to blame and not the Carrera GT. Now, Miss Walker's now claiming that the Carrera GT didn't have the kind of safety equipment inside of it that would allow somebody to survive an incident such as her father and his longtime friend Roger Rodas, who both tragically were killed in that particular incident. It's weird that this is happening this many years down the line, and then not to mention that it's happening at all. But we'll keep you in tune to what's going to go on with this deal in the future. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, I got the first edition, that brand new documentary following the Focus RS. Very, very cool. You can also like us over there. We'd appreciate it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.